welcome to another episode of Big Ego Media. Got a special guest, goes by the name of Kola. How you doing today, bro?
I'm good, man.
How was your journey?
It's been a long one still. Been a very long one still, but...
You've only just come out of prison 5 days ago.
I know.
This is the quickest I've ever done an interview with anyone that just come out of jail. I mean, like, we'll get into it, but you hit me up quite a while back.
Yeah,
This has been in the planning for a little while. But as I do with all my interviews, everyone who watches, we like to get back and go all the way from the beginning, get to know the person, because everyone's got a different kind of reputation, but who is the man behind the name? So first and foremost, what country you from and where did you grow up?
Well, obviously people say I'm from UK, but my parents are from Nigeria originally. And I grew up in Shepherd's Bush, West London. Yeah, that's where I'm from.
What's your Nigerian tribe?
Yoruba.
Okay. The
So
demons, as they call it.
Shout out to all my Nigerians, man.
Okay. So, UK, you was born here?
Yeah, I was born here still.
You was born here. So, household, how was it? Was it your mum and dad, single parent household? How did it work?
Yeah, I grew up with my mum mainly.
Yeah.
I grew up with my mum and my two sisters. So, I'm the only boy.
Older sister, younger sisters?
Older and younger, you know what I mean?
So, you're the middle child?
Middle child, yeah.
I had someone on here the other day, a few weeks ago, and she was the middle child. And she was saying there's this middle child kind of enigma that people have, because like the first child is like, kind of the child that was there kind of made, and then the last child is sort of the last hurrah. So the middle child has that sort of not understanding their position in life. Do you get that? What she meant by that?
Well, what I can say about being a middle child, I felt like I used to get blamed for everything. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like in the house when things go wrong, it's always, Kola did that. Kola. Do you know what I mean? So, and being the only boy as well, you know, growing up around girls. So yeah, man. But I don't know, obviously her part of the situation, but being an only boy, yeah, it was kind of different still. Do you know what I mean?
And you said there you grew up with your mum. Mm-hmm. Where was dad?
Dad traveling. Do you know what I'm saying? Doing his own thing. You feel me? But yeah, man, he's back and forth from Nigeria to the UK. He's a businessman, isn't it? So yeah, that's what he does. And
how do you think that played a part in your understanding of who you are as a person, your identity and your upbringing? Because a lot of times in the UK, they talk about lacking that strong male role model in the household. Do you think that affected you because you grew up with just women in the house?
I'm not too sure, you know, but growing up now, obviously I'm more in contact with them. I'm around them more. So I feel like, you know, maybe in some kind of way, do you know what I mean? In some kind of way, because you don't have do you know what I mean? Girls are growing up like girls. You don't have someone that you do kind of look up to, do you know what I mean? Yeah. And the people you do look up to is like, they're on some next mindset. Yeah. You feel me? Especially coming from where I'm from. So yeah, man. So
how was sort of academically in school? Were top set, middle, struggled a bit, needed more help?
Nah, I was quite smart in school. Yeah. That's one thing, any school I went to, like, obviously I got kicked out of school, but most of the school I went to, like, they always say, like, I'm smart. Do you feel me? Yeah. But I was just, like, being troublesome. That was the issue. Do you know what I mean?
And growing up in a Nigerian household where it's kind of known to be kind of strict, how did the trouble start coming with you where you started going wayward?
Being rebellious. I think that's the thing, man. Being rebellious, you know. When you're being told, like, you can't do this, you can't do that. And it's like, when you do get the chance to do it, it's like a little thrill, innit? It's like a little thrill. Like I remember, like, my mom used to say, you can't go out. But I used to like riding bicycles, you know what I'm saying? And my uncle used to keep his bike at my house. So when my mom used to go work, I'll sneak out, get the bike, go for a little ride in the estate. And I used to time it like, 3:30, they're going to be back. But I used to get back from school like 3:20. Yeah? So I'll ride around for 5 minutes and cut back home. And I'll come back like, nothing's happened. So yeah, and then after, I start sneaking out at nighttime. But yeah, man, that's how it went.
Yeah. And when did your mom kind of start noticing, this behavior is shaky right now?
It's when I got arrested. I started getting arrested a lot when I was like 15 years old.
Talk us through the first arrest.
I think my first arrest was handling stolen goods. Yeah. Handling stolen goods. That was my first. Actually, no, tell a lie. My first arrest was when I was 13 years old. Yeah. I was 14 or 13. I was 14 for riding a mini motorbike.
Okay.
And I remember, like, obviously being African, I don't know, some people can relate, like, you know, like being arrested by the police and having handcuffs put on your hand. That's like forbidden.
Yeah.
So you can imagine when I got nicked for riding a mini motor and the police, like, they put handcuffs on my hand. I was so distraught because it was like, it come like the end of the world for me. Like, they put cuffs on my hand. That's the worst thing that could happen. So yeah, that was my first arrest. And then after that, it was handling stolen goods. Because I bought a stolen phone. But I actually genuinely didn't know it was a stolen phone.
Yeah.
I just bought it for my girlfriend at the time. Because she didn't have a phone. And there was some crackhead in the area. He's like, oh, I got this phone for cheap. I think it was £25 back in 2006. So I bought it off him. And then the next day, this is so mad. The next day, I'm going to the cinema with her. And police pulled up. Because obviously, you know, you'll stop black people.
Yeah.
And that road where I grew up is just known for bare fuckery. So I'm walking with her and they just stopped me. I was on my electric scooter. You see the e-scooter people ride this today?
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to have one back then, like some big one, yeah. So I'm riding with her and then they stopped me. They're like, oh, well, you're riding on the pavement. I was like, yeah. I was just gonna search me. You know, they check the IMEI number on your phone.
Yeah.
The phone was stolen. So they didn't have nothing to say to me, but they said, we're arresting you for robbery. I feel no, robbery or theft.
Yeah.
Theft of a phone. And then later they changed it to handling stolen goods because obviously they know that, sincerely, I didn't know where that phone came. I told them I bought it for someone, so yeah, that was my first one. And yeah, man, it just went on and on from there.
And I mean, talk us sort of growing up through Shepherd's Bush. How was that area for you? Did you see the badness from the get go?
Do you know what? Growing up, I was more of a happy-go-lucky guy. Do you know what I mean? Because, you know, I was always involved in like the youth center. There was a youth club called Masborough Youth Club. You know, from school days, I used to go there. So they started doing like performances and that. So I used to host some of the shows. Do you know what I mean? So, but then after a while, you know, everyone starts growing up. There's loads of fuckeries that was happening in the neighborhood. There was loads of drug dealing, loads of robberies, like gunshots going off. Yeah, you know me, name it was there. And even though I was young, I was very aware of my neighborhood.
Yeah.
And I knew everyone. Like in West London, like if you're from Shepherd's Bush, like, and you say you don't know, man, like you must not live there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because I was a happy-go-lucky guy. Like I'll go to different people's houses. People liked welcoming me to the house and that, and yeah, man, it was good.
What was your actual ambition though? Like, what was, even going back, let's say 8 years old, 9 years old, what did you tell yourself I want to be?
I wanted to be an artist.
As in like a painter?
An artist, because I used to draw. But you know, my mum wasn't happy with that, so she's like, nah, you're not gonna do that. And I remember I used to come back from school, and that's why I used to draw. I used to draw the Bart Simpson and Homer Simpson, do you know what I mean? Yeah. But she was like, nah, you gotta have more ambition than that. You know, all the Nigerians, they want their kids to be doctors and lawyers. So after that, you know, I was still like into art and stuff, but then I was into fashion. That's what it was. I was into fashion as well. I started like, when I turned like 14, I used to do, you know, like not screen print, but you used to be able to buy these little papers, yeah? Yeah. And you print an image into it and then you iron it onto clothes. Yeah, yeah. And then there was these Diamantes, Swarovski crystals. Yeah. And you get this little heat press gun. And there was a shop called Global Sports. Do you know what I'm saying? Global Sports, I used to buy some hats from there and I used to put the Swarovski crystals on it. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I wanted to get into fashion. But yeah, as time went on, you know, everything kind of fell into place. I started finding my identity in it because then I wanted to be a musician. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, man.
Okay, so again to a point that where, as a young person, you ended up going into prison. I mean, how did that come about?
Obviously, like they always say, when you turn 18, that's when they're gonna throw you in jail. You need to be easy now. So in my head, I'm not gonna lie, I used to think to myself, well, I can do what the fuck I want for now because I'm not going to jail. But then lo and behold, I racked up too much arrests and convictions.
Before you get there, by this time, what are the sort of stuff you're getting arrested for?
So bladed article. You know, I got arrested for a lot of things. Yeah, I got arrested for a lot of things, but convicted for a bladed article. You know, I got convicted for handling stolen goods. I got convicted for ABH, but that happened when I was in jail. I got convicted for robbery. I got convicted for burglary. I got convicted for possession with intent to supply. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
So let's get to then why you end up going into prison. Tell us a story behind that.
When I first went to jail.
Yeah.
I was 15 years old. Obviously, long story short, heroin was found in my room. 25 wraps, I'll never forget. 25 wraps of heroin found in a little Louis Vuitton purse. And the family weren't too happy. You know, my mum, very strict. And they ended up calling the police. The police came. They thought I was going to get a slap on the wrist.
So your family found drugs in a household. Yeah. Thought they'll call the police to hand it in, or?
Yeah, I don't know what they were thinking. It was, I don't know, man. You know, I think they're just stuck in their ways, and they just thought, you know what, we need this boy to change. Because I was causing.
I mean, I didn't know what it was straight away. The sort of raps, and they just couldn't you apply that? Oh no, this is.
It was my uncle, and he's very intelligent, man.
Yeah,
so he's very intelligent. So he knew what it was. You know, call my mom, all of them, and they thought, you know what, this guy needs to learn a lesson because.
Do you think it was your uncle's decision? Do you think your mum would have made that decision to call the police without your uncle, or do you think you should have called the police?
I think it was joint, man. Because remember, their family, they're like close, and you know, it's African Nigerians. Like the respect amongst African is like it's proper serious. So if an older person says something, even if you're 1 year younger, you must follow that. So that's what it was. And I don't know, but they made that joint decision to call the feds, and I ended up in jail, man. It's mad.
I mean, when they've told you they're calling the police, did you even believe it?
They didn't tell me they're calling the police.
Oh, they even tell you?
No.
So you're just at home and police showed up?
I'm just at home, and they're like, question. I knew I was in shit anyway, because heroin was like, what the absolute fuck? Do you know what I mean? So the police turned up, and I have to explain how that ended up in my bedroom. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, they took me to police station, and I was like, look, I was rapping it for a friend. That's like what I was rapping it for a friend. It's not mine. You know, they expected me to snitch and tell them who the friend is. You know, I was oblivious. I don't know what the fuck was going on. I just said, look, it's not mine, innit? Do you get me? Because obviously you're young, innit? You don't know what to say. I knew I was in shit, but because I was on bail for a burglary. Yeah. Obviously they was like, sent me to the court. So I'm thinking, I'm gonna get out. They said I'm going jail. They said I'm going jail. I remember it like yesterday. Yeah, I burst into tears.
I was about to ask you that because if you watch all my interviews, everyone that gone to jail, because I famously told how I sobbed when I got sent to jail, and I was like, boo, all of that. So I always ask my guests, did you cry? Some people like, no, I didn't cry.
I cried.
But you cried, yeah.
I cried, man. I remember I was downstairs, Hammersmith. I think it's closed now, but Hammersmith Court. I was downstairs crying, like thinking, I said, they're sending me to jail. Like the man, you know, the yardie man was like, don't worry, man. I was like, they're sending me to jail. You know, like I've only seen jail in movies.
Yeah.
I've seen people in the ends come out and say, yeah, he's just come out of jail. You know, they're big and that.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, raw. And I was just there, just thinking, my life is done. You know, like I'm thinking, you know, all the stuff my mum told me is like, rah, you know, you're not going to be able to get a job. I'm thinking, I'm not going to be able to get a job. I can't go to university. I'm thinking, rah, this is the end of my life. You know, like jail's the last straw. So I just thought to myself, I have fucked it now. So that's why I was crying.
How long did you get?
I ended up getting 2 years due one.
2 years due one.
2 years due one. I felt young offenders.
Before, and what year was this?
2006.
Oh, that means you'd have been there when I was there. I went there in 2007, but I was on the adult side.
Yeah, I ended up getting shipped out to Warrington, Stoke-on-Trent.
So, I mean, in regards to even selling the drugs, how did you come about to begin selling drugs in the first place?
Well, I'm not going to say I was selling drugs, but
I mean,
around drugs, it's just, to be honest, yeah, like a lot of people were selling drugs, man. A lot of people were selling drugs, and it's like, when I used to sneak out at night, my mom's probably gonna watch and think, I knew you was sneaking out. Yeah, but you know, when I say sneak out, there used to be some girl in my area. I'm not gonna say her name, but I remember seeing some little things in her hand and that, and I was like, what is that? And people used to come and meet her. But I just used to love the nightlife. Do you know what I'm saying? And I used to love just seeing different environments. I used to go Soho and that. And I remember seeing her with these things, and she's like, I'm like, what is this? Like, you got there, people keep meeting you for. She goes, I'm gonna turn stone into cash.
Yeah.
And I said to her, what are you, a magician or something? She goes, trust me, I'm gonna get paid. I'm getting paid. And then as time went on, and I was just inquisitive, innit? I just asked people, like, what is this? And I found out like, that was crack. Do you get me? And then people told me, like, crack has to grow with heroin. And it's like, obviously, you know that people sell weed because people selling weed in school anyway.
Yeah.
But this was some next drug. Like, obviously, in drugs in school, they teach you about ecstasy, but I never remembered crack and heroin.
Yeah.
Crack and heroin, from what I remember, was from the streets. And I was first person I saw with crack was that girl.
Yeah.
You get me? And then, yeah, man, that's how my knowledge about crack and heroin came about. And then obviously I was hanging around with Sutton Man, and yeah, man.
And when you actually had to go to prison, did you hold resentment towards your family?
To be honest, at the start, I did. I remember, I did. I used to write some crazy letters, man.
So actually wrote them letters?
I used to write some crazy letters. Like, when I look back now, I think, wow, this guy had issues, man. I used to write some mad letters and that.
And did your mum respond to those letters?
I don't know, man. I can't remember, like, she's come visit me, though.
Yeah.
She's come visit me. But yeah, man, I used to write mad letters to my uncle and that. Yeah, man.
How was your experience in prison? Because especially in those areas, especially young offenders, it goes off all the time. So how did you find your experience at the time?
Well, anyone that was in jail with me will know how I was like in Feltham. I think I had the screw loose.
Yeah.
Like my whole wing. One time I was beefing my whole wing.
Yeah.
Imagine that, and I'm still around. I was just a little shit, to be honest. Used to smash the flap, get mad. I was on basic. Most of my time in jail was spent on basic.
Yeah.
Literally, I got enhanced maybe for 3 days once. Then I got into a scrap with some youth from Peckham. Imagine that.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, it was quite. But I used to love going gym as well. But it was quite mad. But at the same time, I was a funny guy. I was always cracking jokes. But everyone had a point to prove. Do you feel me? But after a while, you know, everyone starts settling in. They know that, all right, cool, my man is not gonna have it. You feel me? But my first violence experience in jail, I remember, was over a pool table. Do you know what I'm saying? And it was my goal next. But obviously, you know, most man them times there, everyone's in a gang, so
Yeah.
they all stick together. I remember the guy was just giving it verbals. Then I went shower, and I remember from young I've always got the latest trainers.
Yeah.
I love my trainers, like, so I've gone in the shower. I'm naked in the shower as well because you have them little cubicles and felt them showers in it, yeah. And I'm showering, and both of them come in, and actually one of them actually grabbed me in the shower. It's like, what are you saying? What are you saying? But I had to keep my calm. I'm thinking, right, man's gonna kick my head in, and I'm naked. But it's not because I was scared of them.
Yeah.
I'm just always strategic with my moves, innit? So I'm there like, nah, it's cool, it's calm. I remember I was saying calm. Now I would have left it as that, but the one of them thought he was a smart ass. He's gone to take my Harachis. I know you remember them Harachis, you know, the grey and black ones.
Yeah, yeah.
He's gone and taken my fresh Harachis and thrown it in the toilet. That's what triggered me.
Okay.
So I've come out the shower, put my clothes on, yeah. When he threw in the toilet, luckily it landed on the feet of the trainers.
Yeah, yeah.
So it wasn't like the trainers in the toilet. I put my trainers on and I went into the pool table where
Yeah, yeah.
I said, did you put my trainers in the toilet? Which one of you done that? And he's like, what? Boom! Decked him. I didn't even let him finish. I just decked him. Now he's moving. He can see man's on this thing now.
Yeah.
I went to his brother. I said, did you put my trainers in the toilet? He's like, nah. Like, what you talk? Boom! Decked him. But now the govs have come. Now they're pumping their chest. Because obviously I'm the instigator. Because you know jail, innit? The officers are going to restrain you. So they got me in this restraint like this. But my right hand is loose. You feel me? This guy's trying to come set on me. I'm thinking, right, but I'm next to the pool table. Stupid idiot. He's tried to come bang me in my face. My right hand's loose. So I grabbed the pool ball. Boom! Hit him in his face. And then the guy threw me to the floor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that was my first experience. And after that, it was like, we done mediation. But yeah, then after that, it was like, You know, and you have to prove your point.
Yeah, it's always like that in prison when no one kind of knows you first. They test the waters, and once that first incident happens, like cool. And I'm assuming you guys would have been brethren afterwards. You guys were cool afterwards.
Yeah, we end up being cool, man.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying, they end up cool, man. Me and both of them.
Yeah,
because I had to do some mediation, and then yeah, man, we were cool still.
So at this point, like in Shepherd's Bush as well, so 14, 15, that's when kind of people join a gang per se, as they like to call it. Did you see yourself involved in anything that would be perceived as a gang?
Well, obviously, there's been a lot of you know, people I roll with. You know what I'm saying? Because I know the police are probably watching, trying to, you know, put some pieces together.
I mean,
but
don't say anything.
I'm not saying anything incriminating, but
yeah.
like we had a group of friends, you know, growing up, you know, back in the day, and some of them, you know, they was doing their thing, and there was a MDP in it. Like, I know a lot of people from West London with an MDP, so we used to obviously roll together.
For our viewers from across the world who don't know what MDP stands for, give us a name.
Or MDP, like it standed for money, drugs, and power, murder them pussies, and yeah, MDP back in the day, man, 2005, 2006. You know what I'm saying?
And it was like a West London thing.
Yeah, it was West London, Ealing. You know, some man was from like Acton. It was everyone. Literally, there was a lot of man. We just roll together, partying. You know, mainly partying, and yeah, going carnival. Yeah, you know. So yeah, that's what we used to do, man. Used to sneak out at night. It was fun days. It was fun days, man. You know what I'm saying? But obviously, I ended up going jail, and obviously, a lot of things happened, and yeah, man.
So I mean, just to kind of move slightly away, and we'll come back to it again in terms of when you was finally released.
Mm-hmm.
Music-wise, at the time, who was you guys kind of listening to? What was your influences at the time, and was you trying to make music yourself?
I only started trying to make music like to make. Actually, you know what? Tell a lie. My first ever track was when I think I was 13 years old, and I used to go to Akel's house. You call Akel from Western, innit? So. Yeah. He's got an older brother called Angel, so he has a friend called Casser as well. So their dad used to be like, "Wow, this guy's a good musician." R.I.P. to him as well. Died the other day. So he used to tell them to take me to the studio and record a track for me. So that's when I made my first ever track. And I remember I was supposed to go with them to the Sony interview, but that's when I got nicked for that mini motor thing. You know what I'm saying? I got nicked for the mini motor thing, and they found I got arrested, and it's like. The dad just wasn't too happy with me, like, raw, Kola is involved in criminality sort of thing, innit? Yeah. So that kind of went down the drain, and then I ended up going jail, obviously. But yeah, growing up, we used to listen to like Young Jeezy, I remember, and 50 Cent. I remember when that track came out, 2 niggas in the front, 2 niggas in the back. And yeah, that's what everyone used to listen. But me, I was versatile, my music, innit? Do you know what I mean? But the music everyone used to listen to when I was around them was more 50 Cent, Young Jeezy, and what's it called? Jadakiss. Yeah. Jadakiss, and
Was it anyone in the UK that you guys were kind of messing around at the time, 2006 era, or even in the grime scene?
I say Tinchy Strider. Tinchy Strider was around them times, I think. Chipmunk was upcoming them times. Bashy, that's who it was. Bashy, and there was DJ Ironic or something like that.
Yeah.
That tune, that
era. Yeah. That channel, kind of the Channel U days.
Yes, and what's that guy's name? He used to rap like crayons in the 9, bullets in the Mac, something like that. R-Ray, because I remember I went to jail, and R-Ray, that was the guy everyone used to listen to, because the way he used to put his lyrics together, even I wasn't into that kind of music, but it was like, this guy's hard. Do you know what I mean? And Akon as well. Akon was around them times. So yeah, man.
So when you kind of finally got out of prison, what did you tell yourself you were going to do? How was the conversation with your parents? And yeah, quick as well, like, what was your dad saying at this time?
My pops, obviously, around them times, obviously, he was traveling and stuff, innit? So obviously, my contact with him would be by phone calls. Do you feel me? So I wasn't really seeing him much, you know, because he's abroad more time. But my mom, obviously, she's there. I mean, this is when I came out, right? When I came out, obviously, it was just like, you know, all the advice, make sure you're doing well. She come to pick me up from jail. Yeah. She come to pick me up from jail. And shout out to one of my friends. Obviously, I'm not going to mention his name, but he's always there. He come pick me up with her. And yeah, just give me advice. You need to behave yourself. Da, 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 da. And yeah, I was just gonna enroll back in college because I didn't know I could get back into college. I always thought I was done out here, so I thought to myself, I'm gonna become a nurse.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? I want to get into hospitality and stuff like that. So I started doing health and social care, like Kingston College sometimes. And yeah, but I had to stop it because when I was speaking to the careers advisor, because we were supposed to go to university after that, innit?
Yeah.
So I was doing my level 2. But she was like, oh, there's no chance you're going to get in the ambulances because you have to visit people's houses. And when they do your check, it's going to come back as you've been involved in a burglary, you know, in a robbery and a common assault. That's all sort of stuff. It doesn't make people feel safe. And yeah, man, so I had to start thinking of what else I want to do. And that's when I got into plumbing.
Yeah.
I started going, I think it was acting college. Acting college, yeah. I was studying plumbing. But then I love dressing up, innit? So I didn't really want to get my clothes dirty. So when I actually done very well as well. Done my level 2, and I just kind of stopped, man. I started doing bare little bits and bobs and that. You know what I'm saying? I dropped out.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, man.
So at this time, I guess, was there any kind of active beef in the area that you was having to navigate across?
From young, there was always been beef.
Yeah.
There was always been beef, like it's not necessarily because you want beef, but because some people you hang around with, they do bare fuckeries, and it's like you can't then jump set. You know what I'm saying? You can't then be like, oh yeah, because it's peak for these man, I'm not gonna be around them, because you're living there. You're gonna see them every day, and then they're gonna turn against you. Where you gonna live then? My family ain't rich to move out them times. You know what I'm saying? So you know, Bush used to beef like but growth, and it's so funny because a lot of them Harrow Road youths, like man like Ratlin, Belly, them man there back in the day. Obviously, we never used to feel them when it was MDP, but fun enough now. Obviously, man's good with them. Shout out to Belly. You know what I'm saying? So that beef was there, and then obviously there was beef with like man from Southall. You know what I'm saying, from Gritset and that. I mean, but it's mad how you grew up and then you become friends with a lot of people. Do you know what I mean? So, but back then, you had to be very careful where you go. Even to this day, people, obviously not my generation, but the young generation, they're going through the same shit we went through them times. You have to be careful where you go, because you can literally get killed out here.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And that's why people, even though you're not really trying to scream out gang, you have to be rolling with a set, because when you get caught slipping, it's really going to be peak for you. Do you know what I mean? I remember one incident, someone are going to watch this, and I remember I was in my yard, a man called me saying, "Raw, one of the man them got acid thrown in his face." And that's one of the incidents that made me realize, like, anyone can really get touched out here. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm talking burnt his face. You know what I'm saying? I still got the pictures in my yard. Like, just casually, you know, everyone thinks they're bad, go up to this random you. What you saying? Do you dash some next acid in man's face? So now, all the man them's got beef with man from flipping Grove.
Yeah.
Do you get it? So yeah, man. But yeah.
It's mad how just not even little, but one incident between two people, now the whole ends up beefing each other. Yeah. And a lot of young people don't even know to this day why they don't like each other, where it started from, because of one person's ego and so on. I mean, you talked about someone getting sort of an acid attack. Was there any time where you yourself was attacked or you had any injuries?
Yeah, we don't want to get too much into it, but obviously there's been many incidents. But one of my main incidents that obviously, like, a lot of people in the hood, remember I was 15 years old. Obviously some misunderstanding happened, and the guy came back. I remember I was walking down the road, and that situation made me understand as well. You can't always trust people in that. But I was walking down the road, and the guy come with a 15-inch and stabbed me in my head.
Wow.
I could have died as well. Stabbed me right in my head. I dropped on the floor.
Was the top of your head?
Yeah, literally right here,
wow.
Right here, like with a 15-inch blade. Like I saw that blade when I hit the floor. I literally blacked out, but something just lifted me up. Did you get it? And I look back, but I'm running, and I'm looking back. Man's running after me like this, trying to drop me in my back. Blew off. You know, the adrenaline's pumping. I run to the chemist. I remember I text all the man them and that. I'm like, "Rah, I'm gonna die." I remember saying, "Oh, well, I'm gonna die, bro." Because if, like, I'm 15 years old, I'm hiding in this chemist chair under the counter, literally blood is spilling out of my head, like literally like water fountain. You know, like a water pistol.
Yeah.
Spilling out, and I'm trying to cover it, but I'm bleeding. Like, I'm looked on the floor, yeah. Even at this age, if you saw that kind of blood, you think I'm done out here.
Yeah.
Like I was surrounded in blood, and I remember getting on my phone thinking I'm gonna die anyway. I thought I'm gonna die, so I'm messing up some blood. I've been stabbed. I'm gonna die. All the extra stuff I said. The whole hood was there. Outside, they called the ambulance, obviously. And yeah, man, I was discharged the next day.
Did you message your mum?
Nah, I don't want my mom to know these things them times. Because
The reason why I asked that, right, is that, and I always tell people, I always speak to young people sometimes, I say, because they have loyalty to their friends, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And I say, if God says today, all right, I'm coming in 3 hours, be with your loved ones, be with the people you need to be with, who would you choose? And everyone says, oh, I'll choose to be with my family. So I also
now.
No, I'm talking about even in general, right? You ask people like, even young people, they say, "Oh, I'll be with my mum." So it's like it's their go-to. So I always tell them, like, okay, so then why do you always spend most of your time not being at home and hanging around? It's the fear of missing out. So that's why I asked you kind of there, like, you say that you feel that you're dying, and you've not even called your mum. You called the man them. So you're that loyal to that street code or the street life.
Yeah,
but think about it, you're saying that, raw, man, them, I'm gone, and you don't even think to speak to your mum.
Nah, because you know what your mum's gonna say, innit? I understand now. You're just thinking, she's gonna be scared for me now. I'm not gonna be allowed out again. Probably gonna take my phone. I'm gonna be locked in the house.
But what's a phone if you're gone anyway?
Bro, I'm just thinking, what if I survived?
Yeah.
You know, I know the consequences. You're not gonna be allowed out. She's gonna tell the whole family now. It's a case of, if I'm gonna go out, it's gonna be to my cousin's house. And their mum and dad is in. There's no more freedom. So the little freedom I had, I was for, you know what? If I'm gonna die in it, let me die. Let me die in peace. I see you in heaven, mum.
I hear that. So I mean, obviously the incident you survived. Did that make you kind of reflect on life?
To be honest.
Or was it more so the cool thing? Yeah, I've been stabbed now.
Nah.
You know, sometimes we got those war scars, and we're like, yeah, I've been stabbed. So now there's that reputation that comes with that as well.
Nah, it wasn't a cool, like, I'm not gonna lie, like, I didn't feel any type of like, oh yeah, it's a cool kid being stabbed. Nah, man, I went hospital. I was more worried about the scar. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I was always like, not vain, but I always like look after myself, innit? So I'm thinking to myself, I'm gonna have a scar. I used to have Jerry curls as well back in the days. Remember that little that Jerry curl with the fade on the side, high top with the Avrex jacket. That was the swag. So I'm just thinking, blood, I'm gonna have a line on my head. It's not even, you know, like back in the days, get that little two slit. It was there. It was at an angle, so it wasn't even. I was just thinking, fuck, man, fucked up my trim. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's what it was, man. And I got stitched up on that. Next day I came out. You know what I'm saying? I went to link the brer. Yeah, man. I was just thinking, bro, I gotta squash this beef, because even a lot of men that I know that were going on bad, when they heard who it was, their heart wasn't in it. Like, I'm talking the whole squad. And if I'm lying, I'm flying. Like, literally. Whole squad. There's only one man, you know what I'm saying, that he was like, you know what, whatever your decision is gonna be, I'm with you. Do you get what I'm saying? And that's what it was, man, them times. So
I mean, and this is a lesson, right? This is a lesson, and I think I'm gonna stick on this for a little while. Is that someone has stabbed you in the head, right? And a lot of times these young people is like, nah, it's get back gang, and it's all pride and ego. But you had to let your pride and ego go and speak to this man. So is it because this guy was just like, just a bad man on the road, really?
He's up, listen, let me show you something, yeah? And obviously some man will know, yeah? He was see back then, serious brother. You know, even for me to get into that situation with him, it was like, raw. Like, man are looking at me like I'm crazy. Do you get what I'm saying? And even to get his number, I'm talking big man. Remember how old was you when you were 15? Like, quite tiny. Yeah. I'm getting the number of a guy that's twice my size, yeah? And even he's like, please, don't tell my man you got the number off me. So, do you know what I'm saying? There's man that I used to look up to that they're shook of my man. So it's like, Well, if everyone shook of my man, if my so-called tough guys are not really picking up the phone because they know what's happened, this must be some serious shit. And I live in this hood. So therefore, I've always been strategic from young. Strategic moves. So, go and dead the thing, bro.
So you called him?
I called him. I had to call one of my brethren and I had to say, yo, roll with me there, because he kind of knows my man because of his family and whatever.
So when you called him, he said, alright, cool, I'll meet you.
He wants to know if the police there, if I snitched. That's what he cared about. He's like, who you with? Who you with? But come on, bro. Like, I didn't say that, so I just said, look, I'm by myself, but I do want to come with someone, innit? When I come link you. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, who? But when I said the name, he recognized the name, like, rah, it's someone he knows their
that
family.
You can trust as well.
Yeah, so it's like, yeah, roll up. And best believe, when I went there, man's flipping. Obviously, you see me, I've always been a brave child. Like, I went there, cool, see my man. And
was he by himself?
Nah. He's with another. He's with another guy that's smoking weed. I remember the hench motherfucker. Like he's with his. I know who he was with now. Yeah. Imagine I met the guy in jail in the showers.
Yeah.
I told him my name and he's like, "Wow, you're that kid, man. I was there that day. You know what I mean?" And he's just there. I'm just thinking, these guys got nothing to lose. They will literally kill. A man that stabbed me in the main road, he's ready to kill.
Yeah.
And from when that happened, and I'm speaking to bare different people and all the older, they're saying, listen, this guy has lost the plot. He's done this, he's done that, he's da-da-da-da-da. So I'm hearing it. I'm not stupid. I'm coherent, you know? I'm hearing what they're saying to me and I'm moving diligently, strategically, got to dead this thing. Man punched me in my face. He wanted to see the scar.
Wait, you punched in
He
your
wanted
face?
to see the scar. I was like, right, let me see that. He goes, you could have caught your death, you know. And I'm thinking, I just want to squash the beef and let me go, motherfucker. I'm not saying that out of my mouth.
Yeah.
I think I'll just get us over and have a look. Misunderstanding between us. There's no dramas. We're gonna leave it as that.
Yeah.
Man said, let me see that. Man bangs me in my face.
Again, fuck me.
Man banged my face. But I'm thinking shit about blowing out. Man saying, don't blow out, you know. I'm not gonna do it. I'll never forget it to this day. And the youth that was with me, he's probably gonna see this as well. Okay. He's going, don't run away, you know. Cause if you run away, that's only gonna do you something. And I'm thinking, oh fuck. I have to live around there. All the people that are older than me and older than them, they look up to this guy. Where am I going? Well, am I going to tell my uncle I'm going to move to his house? You know what I mean? So I thought, you know what? Go back. I just soldiered it. Eat humble pie. And yeah, man.
And how did the hood respond to that? They understood then. They're like, yeah, it went no.
Listen.
Yeah, everyone knew.
The fact that I got into it with him was enough. Was enough. It's
So
like
that kind of boosted you up a little bit then.
it was kind of like a sort of like a boost. Like, rah, my man done that. Like, do you get me? Like, he's actually got into with our older. That's what it was. Like, if like this guy was like, whatever he says goes. Like, you imagine that with all the guys, all the bad mans in your ends that you think was tough. When he says this is what's going on, that's what's going on. No one's saying nothing. People have to come. People that are older than my elders have to come with their brothers and their cousins to even challenge this bread these times. Do you know what I'm saying? And I became very good friends with a guy this day. Do you know what I mean? And when people say this and say that about my man, I always say, bro, this guy, yeah, he was running I saw it with my own two eyes. Do you know what I'm saying? From that incident. So yeah, man. It was mad.
So then it got to a point that where you ended up having to go to jail again.
Yeah. I'm going to jail again, you know.
But let's quickly jump on the music now though. So when was it that you was making music prominently?
So when it wasn't by accident, because remember I told you I was doing music before, from when I was young and stuff, yeah. And I can't remember 106 I can't remember the radio station. My sister used to send my CDs to them, and they used to play my songs. And it's so mad what I was rapping about them times and what I ended up rapping about. Because I used to rap about no life's about being a thug. Let's all learn how to love. That's what I used to rap about.
So that's what your sister was probably saying. I was about to say, what? Your sister, the same one who grew up is now.
No, she didn't. She was just like there, you know.
Yeah.
What's that word? She was a co-defendant of the people who got the police to the yard.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And yeah, man. But when I was 19, that's when I've done 19, 10, and 20. That's when I done my first ever tune. I released on YouTube, innit? And it was just by accident, because obviously I was flexing, you know, heavy jewels and fast cars, and I was actually living how I was living. I remember I was in the studio with some of the young G's and that, and it's like, Rock, how old are you? Like, just drop a track, man. Drop a track. And we used to do it for fun, you know? Yeah. So it was in there, one take. I remember the track, it was literally one take. But you know when you're feeling yourself, when you're young, and I always say to everyone, like, when you're 19, like 17 to 19, but 19, that age there, that's your prime. That's the best years of your life. You feel like you can fly a plane, even though you've never been in a cockpit before. Do you know what I mean? You just feel you can take over the world. You know what I mean? So when I meet all these 19-year-olds in jail, and even on the roads, I always remember, like, I always tell them, like, anyone that's met me that's 19, I say, this is the best years of your life. You got to go and make it happen, because make or break these times.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, I just went in the studio, and I just done that track one take, you know, and then I started going studio, but everyone's like, you need to drop a video, because YouTube just came around this time, 2011, and they was like, you need to drop a video to this. Do you feel me? And yeah, that's when I dropped the video, and bro, the video everyone started, you know, but I ended up going jail. So I didn't really get to do music like that. Yeah, man.
Why did you go to jail for this time?
I went jail. Actually, I went jail before that for driving whilst disqualified.
Yeah.
I went jail for driving whilst disqualified, and that's when I came back out. That was only 6 weeks, but then I went in jail for throwing acid on someone.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I went in jail for throwing acid, but then there was an investigation on me for a shooting that's happened before the acid. There was loads of situation police are investigating, and I remember going to jail because it was on the main road. Some madness happened. Police officer said, allegedly, they saw me running after a man and throwing what they believed to be the noxious substance. Yeah. Obviously, I was in denial, like it's not me. But then when we got to court, there was a CCTV of me discarding a bottle.
Yeah.
Do you get me? So I had no choice but to plead guilty. They gave me 4 months. I already served 4 months, so I was released immediately. But I was also on bail for some other offence, and police were investigating me for a drive-by that had happened. And I went to pick up someone. I started studying. That's when I was gonna get into music, because remember, 2011, I'd done the music, but I think it was 3 days later, I was in jail for the acid.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I came out 4 months. I was genuinely like ready to do music. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's when I started the Boss Gang wave. Do you know what I mean? I started this little wave that everyone's following, the Boss Gang wave, yeah. And I'm writing music. I was writing music. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna blow when I come out. I was literally gonna blow. And I came out. I'm not allowed to talk to all the man them.
That's part of your probation.
Yeah, I'm not allowed to talk to the man them. I'm banned from the ends. Yeah, this is 2011. So I'm banned from the ends. I'm not allowed to talk to man them. I'm not allowed to have more than one mobile phone. It was just bare. I was on curfew as well. They fucked me. So the life I was living before, free, I'm now on lock.
Yeah.
Because you get this top up probation as well, innit? And I was on bail as well. I was on bail for another offence. And I was literally going to college. That's what I was getting to. I was going to college. I was picking up one of our brethren and that. But this dumb guy standing on the main road, moving suspicious. He's jumped into my car. I'm driving. And next minute, I got blue. I turned the left, took around the back road, got blue lighted. Do you feel me? Searched us, took us to the police station, strip search, because he's known for drugs. They checked my record. As soon as I say my name, they check the record. Oh yeah, you know the file. I'm on bail, and you know all the thing. So now the feds is watching me because I was being investigated for the drive-by.
Yeah.
So I'm going to college next morning. this feds pulled up. He must have looked at my bag. You see my school bag. He must have seen my timetable, so he knows what time I'm coming. And they know what car. So when I'm coming, I was going Isleworth College, studying performing arts. So stopped me on the back road, and he's gone. Oh, Kola, where you going, mate? I said, I'm going to college. So what's going on? Go stop there for a second. We're gonna search you. Now, he's come. He's searching me, but he's doing some gay stuff. She's putting his hand in my bum crack. Like he's doing it suspiciously, innit?
Yeah.
And I'm not feeling comfortable with this. I'm like, what are you doing, mate? I said, you're not allowed to do that. He goes, oh, we're gonna do this easy way or the hard way. You get me? I'm like, bro, you can't do that. My man is, I'm gonna search you again. Yeah? I said, yeah, search me properly. Stop doing weird stuff. Man searching me and he's trying to do that gay stuff again. I said, stop that nonsense. He goes, all right, yeah, you're coming with us. Cuff me, put me in the back of the van. Took me to the police station. He was so giddy to search me, yeah, that his pal, but God works in mysterious ways, innit? I'm in the room, I'm about to get strip searched. That one officer, there was only one glove in this box. Imagine that. One glove in this box. So the other officer had to leave the room to go and get extra gloves, innit? And this guy's making me naked. You know, like procedures when you get strip searched. Obviously, some people don't know this, but when you're getting strip searched, it's top half first. Yeah. Then you put your top half back on, and then bottom half. Yeah. You're not supposed to get fully naked. Yeah. That's not according to the guidelines and the laws, isn't it? You get me? So this guy's making me get fully naked. So now I'm to my boxes now. Do you get me? And he's just moving bare thing. Anyway, he's gone. This is his story. You feel me? He says that I turned around and I ran towards the corner and I dropped a substance. Yeah? That I've then dived towards and ate the substance. That didn't happen, mate. Do you get me? But he's pressed his alarm and I got fucked up. Yeah? And I've always said to this, I say, listen, you just want to beat me up. They punched me up, put pens down my throat, banging me in my stomach, just proper fucked me up. Yeah? Then took me to the A&E saying they're gonna x-ray me. You wanna be pricks, I'm gonna be a prick as well. I don't have to do no x-ray by law. Do you know what I'm saying? Why? Because you think I done something. No. Prove I done something. So anyway, after that, you know, I went back to the police station. I was supposed to get bail, and that's when the officers come to my door and he's gone, oh, Adisa, well, you got bail for that. They're obstructing a police officer. Yeah. That's what they were. So I'm not getting arrested for anything else. It's obstructing a police officer in his line of duty, whatever, yeah? They said, we're arresting you on suspicion of possession of firearm with intent to endanger life. Now, when I get things thrown on me, my face is always like, you can't, there's no expression in my face. I'm not I'm just like, trying to suss out, what's this guy talking about? Man said, oh, don't worry, it'll get sorted out. You know what they always say, innit? Yeah. Put you at ease. I've come out, had to speak to a solicitor, and obviously they give you the pre-statement as to what's gone on and that, yeah? It's like, oh yeah, there was messages sent from my phone to a mobile phone, and that mobile phone is attributed to me, and that there was an Audi R8 in an area, and they're saying a shooting happened, and they're saying they believe that I was the gunman in that car. Mate, it wasn't me. I pleaded not guilty. Do you know what I'm saying? I said it's not me. So they said I'm gonna get remanded in prison because I'm on bail getting investigated for something else. Yeah. So I was so gutted because
I read that I did read up on that story because they said that a shooting was with a Mac 10 machine gun, and someone had a friend of yours, they said allegedly, had rented out an Audi.
They said I rented it out.
Okay, you rented it out.
They said I rented out, but I didn't rent out the Audi. Someone else rented out the Audi. You know what I'm saying? It was a case of, my defense was he bought the car because I had an incident a couple days before, you know, because I told you I drive fast cars. So I had an incident, you know, I dropped the fob to the car, you know, the car got thefted, you know, but the police, you know, because of how I am as a person, they always try and fabricate things, innit? They said when they came to that incident where I'd been cut in a fight, they're saying, I said, I know who it is and I'm going to deal with it. You idiot. You know what I'm saying? Like, man's from the roads. Like, why would I say that? I said, listen, I don't know who the fuck like, what happened. I just said, look, can I get this car towed? Do you know what I mean? They're like, nah. It's like, got the ambulance, went to the hospital, got stitched. But obviously, my brethren come with a R8. Do you feel me? And they use that in evidence, saying that R8 went from that hospital straight to an address they believe the two people that was running. Because neighbors obviously give statements, and obviously in that case, a lot of people done a lot of funny stuff. Do you know what I mean? But it's neither here or there. But obviously, people that know, innit, yeah? You know, people did some funny things and said certain things. Do you get me? So, anyway, that's why I got arrested. You get me? And, so, moving forward, anyway, they're questioning me when I was gonna go jail for the acid situation. They said, oh, the officer said, I remember him, he's saying, oh, was you shot at this road? I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about, because like I sincerely don't know what you're talking about. He's like, oh well, are you sure? I'm like, yeah. But then them being smart asses, they've gone to arrest other people and saying that was they shot at. Do you get what I'm saying? Trying to turn everyone against each other. Anyway, more of the story is they've got me on trial for 2 attempted murders and possession of firearm intent to endanger life. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But I'm young this time, you know. So I didn't know about challenging evidence, because you know, they say that the British law is very good. It is good, but at the same time, it's a business now, isn't it? I mean, even one of my barristers said to me, like, listen, this is not about the truth. It's about who can lie the best. And the police officers, they do lie.
Oh, 100%. I know this.
They do lie. So they've took a statement off this kid. I'm not going to say his name, but they took a statement off this kid. And he was there at the shooting. He said there was 2 people in the vehicle, yeah? And he saw the passenger. Because obviously when you read on the Google, it says what it says.
Yeah.
There was the passenger, and he said he walked down the road, then he saw the vehicle speeding past him, yeah? And while it was on the pavement, the driver produced a rectangular handgun, and there was rapid succession of gunfire. He said he's jumped behind the car. Remember, he said there was a passenger, and he said there was a driver. So if there's a passenger and a driver, how many people is in the Audi R8? 2-seater. There's 2 people. But they've realized my defense. My defense is, I was the passenger. I've gone to collect that car from the other day that it got thefted from, man. You get me? Because obviously man dropped the fob, the youth ran away with the key, and yeah. So anyway, they've changed his statement halfway through the trial. Yeah, I should have challenged it, but I was too young. I was just thinking, I'm not trying to get done for 2 attempted murder. That's 46 years. Yeah. 23 years, that was minimum for a gun attempted murder, innit? So I'm just thinking, fuck, yeah. They've obviously changed the statement saying, oh, he made a mistake, and there was only 1 person in the car. Why they do that? Because if there's only 1 person in the car, it can only be 1 fucking shooter, bro. Do you get me? But we fought the case, you know. I got not guilty for 2 attempted murders, and I already been on trial for all these other. I've been through a lot of shit, you get me? And that was my last case. Like, if I had come out that time, even though I've been set back from the music thing, that's what I was going to do. I was going to do the music. But, unfortunately, I got convicted. I didn't even want no pre-sentence report. When he said, how do you find him on count 1, attempted murder, count 2, not guilty for 2 attempted murder. How do you find him on count 3, possession of firearm, guilty. Like, you know, like, because the machine gun, it carries a big, when it's a handgun, like a normal semi-automatic, you get 5 years, 5.5 years. But an IPP was still going around them times, but it was like, I'm thinking, fuck. And then they're asking for pre-sentence report. You already know they're going to go say all these other things. And I said, I want to get sentenced today. Do you feel what I'm saying? And literally went up, came back downstairs, and the judge saying, da-da-da-da. Obviously, I put my mitigating factors. I'm a young boy. I was 20 years old. I was a young boy. I'm trying to do music, you know. I ain't got a serious because remember, it don't matter what you've been arrested for. Wash on your rap sheet. You get me? So obviously show them, like, give me a chance to come out in my youth so I can do my music. And yeah, man, that's sincerely what I plan to do. Like, right, when I come out, I'm gonna do music and that. And yeah, it gave me 11 years, man.
11 years.
Fucking years. When they said 11 years, I sentenced to 11 years because the police officers, they want their double figures.
Yeah.
Because they obviously feel like I've got away with things and stuff and that. You know what I mean? So they would have put their recommendations forward. You know, machine gun.
Yeah.
In the streets of London. And yeah, man, they gave me 11 years and I didn't even know. I felt just neutral.
Yeah.
I felt neutral, man.
Did you see a guilty verdict coming?
To be honest, because of my winning streak, because of my winning streak, I always win all my cases and stuff. I didn't see that coming.
Did you cry again?
Nah, I was just like, when things happen to me, I always think of what's the next step in it. So I just sat there and just thinking, how old am I gonna be when I come out? That's what I was thinking of. How old am I gonna be when I come out? And I realized how old I'm gonna be. I'm gonna be 26 them times. So yeah, man. I did my time, and then while I'm in jail, further arrests happened. They come nick me for 4 attempted murders. So they was literally trying to do me.
And with those cases, what happened with those?
Oh yeah, I went trial at Old Bailey. Do you feel me? I went trial at Old Bailey. Yeah, and I got acquitted as well. Got acquitted for all them cases. Do you feel me? It was a sticky case because obviously the reason why I was on that case, obviously they said that I supplied, because I've already been convicted for this machine gun. Yeah. So they're saying that I supplied it to my co-defendants. Do you feel me? Because of messages I was sent to my phone talking about Swami and talking about Mizak. Those are the 2 key words that this case really rested on, that dragged me into it. Yeah. Because a man's messaged me saying, phone me ASAP, need the Mizak. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think it was the Mizak. That's the word, Mizak. And then the next phone calls come to me from one of the young G's, and he's saying, he's got a phone call because he messaged me saying, phone me ASAP, phone me. Then I phone him. Yeah. You have to say what's the context of the conversation, because the text message said, phone me ASAP, need the Mizak. Yeah? Then obviously the phone call happens, come off the phone, there's an argument. You can see in messages, there's arguments between me and this fella, yeah? And he's come off the phone, then the young G's called me, he's gone, conversation, and then he's come off the phone and he's messaged me saying, the youth that just called me is saying he wants the Swami. So now I'm in a situation where I have to explain to the jury, what did I understand the Mizak to mean? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And then I have to explain.
Tell me you said McDonald's.
My nigga, I don't know what the fuck he meant to this day. I don't know what Mizak is, what Mizzy is. And then they're saying, what did I understood by the word Swami? What was he that he wanted? And what was he saying that he wanted? My defense is, when he messaged me, I didn't want to speak to him. Because when I was in jail, he didn't get me no garms. Yeah? I said I came off that phone call and the argument ensued. We was arguing. You can see it's black and white. He's saying, raw. Even he said it. Yo, is it because I didn't get you garms when you was in jail? Do you feel me? Now, I said, the phone call I made to him, obviously I have to explain that phone call. I said, yo, what's going on? He said to me, yo, we're going for the thing. I said, what do you mean? He goes, oh, don't act like you don't know what I'm talking about. I said, blood, like, my man's been disrespectful. I had to tell the jury this. I said, like, my man's been disrespectful towards me after he fucked me over when I was in jail. I said, I locked him off. Do you feel me? And that's when he was angry, messaging me. He's phoned the young G. The young G's phoned me because he's heard me and him are arguing. The young G's like, oh, I heard you man are arguing. Obviously, I have to explain what the phone call is. And I told the young G, I said, listen, don't get involved in mine and his beef. You feel me? What you need to do now is go and shop the clothes I gave you, because this man was selling Boss Gang clothing to do with my music. And that's why I sent the number in it. And the number I sent I sent it to my man, but he didn't call the number. The young G called the number. Yeah. Do you feel me? But the police are trying to say that I either supplied the firearm physically, because coincidentally, when I'm coming from outer ends and these man was wherever it was, we hit the same cell mast. Yeah. So now I'm just looking at this case paper, because obviously they give you the chronologies, innit? Yeah. I'm looking at it thinking, how the fuck are these man hitting a West 12 cell mast same time as me? But it's just, when you're going on a motorway And when you're coming down, like Burton Lane and near Hammersmith, like it kind of hits
Pick
the
up the same one, yeah.
same mast. But it was for a split second. But then the number, you can see that number is registered to address where these other two numbers that's called me earlier on is frequented. So they're saying is either I sent them to go get the gun or I gave them the gun physically.
Yeah.
You can't do that in a court of law. You have to stick to one gun.
Yeah.
What did he do? You got me on trial because you say that I supplied a firearm for that case. My defense is I don't know about no fucking firearm. Yeah. I never supplied no firearm. Yeah. I didn't know what they were asking for. My situation here is I just needed to fuck him over because he fucked me over when I was in jail. If you're in dispute with that, look at the messages.
Yeah.
Do you get me? So anyway, I end up busting that case and good riddance. So yeah, man, I did my bird, you know, then I came out.
So then, after you come out, what was the process? Was it back into music at the time?
I started the Barnes Gorelli clothing brand, the Barnes Gorelli clothing brand, and because obviously
Which is what you're rocking right now.
yeah, Barnes Gorelli, literally, even the chain, obviously the BG, the BG on the chain, obviously started from when I was doing that Boss Gang stuff, and the BG from the Barnes Gorelli, that's how it started. So obviously I changed all of that. I came up with this like the panther. Like, I literally had a dream about it, but the BG, like the name Barnes Gorelli, you know. I was in my obviously I don't know if I told you before, I needed a name for my brand because I was always into fashion and I thought all the big brands there a name in it. Vivienne Westwood, Calvin Klein, Gianni Versace, Salvador Ferragamo, and I thought, wow, people need to know me, like know my brand before they know me, because there was a lot of bad gang shit and you know, this guy's a madman, especially when they put me in the papers as well, innit?
Yeah.
This was when BlackBerry Messenger was trending.
Yeah.
So you can imagine when I got 11 years, everyone's pinging each other like, Cola's got 11 years in jail. That was like a life sentence back then.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, this guy's finished. He's gone. See what I'm saying? So I'm thinking, people are always going to talk about that stupidness. They're always going to talk about, oh yeah, this happened. So let me change this shit because I'm actually good at fashion. You get me?
Yeah.
So I came up with the name Barnes Galano and Barnes Gorelli.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Because there was a guy that was on a run. I was watching a program and his name was Luciano Barnes. And I just had that B for Barnes, but I needed to come up with what the G stands for, innit?
Yeah.
So I came up with Galano and Gorelli. And while I'm in jail, I used to just go to people and say, yeah, what do you think, my bro? Like, Barnes Gorelli or Barnes Galano? And a lot of men would just, they'll be like Barnes Gorelli. But what made me really choose that is every single person that I said it to, like they will always come back to me and say, yo, my bro, I remember that name you told me, you know, like, what's it for? But you know, I've never done business. I've never done patent, you know. I've never, you know, registered nothing. So I'm just going by what people tell me. Don't tell people your ideas because they're going to steal it.
Yeah.
So you can imagine I'm thinking, they're going to steal Barnes Gorelli. So I was saying, oh, no, it's nothing. I just want to know what name sounds good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I remember I had a dream about this panther. So I sent it to my brethren, you know, in the ways that you send it.
Yeah.
So I sent it to my man. He sent me the designs back and stuff while I was in jail. And, you know, I chose it. I saw it straight away. And then when I came out, that's what I was going to do, get into fashion. Do you feel me? But obviously I saved money in jail as well. Because obviously I was doing haircuts, you know, selling vapes, you know, just doing whatever I was doing. And tobacco, we used to be able to sell tobacco back then as well.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Obviously it became, they banned it after a while, innit? And yeah, I came out of jail, so I had a bit of bread. I came out of jail like maybe 10K. And so I didn't have to work, but I was trying to get into this fashion thing. I was gonna get a job as well, but you know when you got money, it's like you're not really serious. You're not hunger is not there. Do you feel me? But 3 months later, I get recalled back to jail. A man said I punched him in his face. Do you know what I'm saying? So, but
this is on the street basically.
yeah, bro. Like, and sincerely, like, I did not punch this guy in his face, but not to be on a racist thing, but I'm black. This guy was a white guy, so he's saying the police, this man, and they check my name. You know, I'm going back to me. They arrested me for GBH.
Wow.
GBH. That's grievous bodily harm for a man that said he had a reddening to his eye. This guy wears glasses, tried to manhandle me. Do you know what I mean? I'm arrested for GBH, so automatically, you know, the Secretary of State.
Yeah.
Back to I was gutted. 3 months. I only just came out of Mappa Hostel. Came out of MAP hostel for like 3 weeks. So I was back to jail. I had to go and see. I had to do that, you know, the courses and that.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, in Thameside. And that's when, shout out to Thameside though, you know, even though they tried to stop me from progressing with my brand, you get me? That's when I really got into Barnes Grady, because I was there with my cellmate, and it's like, well, I like that t-shirt you're wearing, because I had a black one with the Swarovski black crystals on it.
Yeah.
And he's like, yo, I like that t-shirt, man. I'm like, yeah. He goes, where'd you get it from? I said, it's mine. But he looked at me like, you're lying. Do you get what I'm saying? And I thought to myself, bro, like, it is mine. I told him it's mine. He said, how much you want for it? I said, I want £80. Best believe the guy said, yeah, that's calm. Send me the details, I'll send the money now. And that's one of my first motivation for the brand thing. And I was like, nah, man, I'll sell it to you for £30. Do you get it? He said, calm, he sent the money to me. And then obviously people, when they come into jail, you get a clothing parcel. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
You get a clothing parcel. And what I used to do is, because I'm sociable, I always chat to everyone. So when you first come in, you got a 28-day recall. You don't need no clothes. I'm going to give you £50. I'm going to take that clothing parcel. So I'll make my brand, put in that parcel, and then get it in. And then I'll sell it to the people that have made the orders. Yeah. But then I was doing it so much, the whole jail started wearing Barnes Gorelli. Like the whole of like anyone I was in Thameside, was it 017 to 019, they'll remember this. The whole jail, people were writing me letters saying, yo, my bro, because I used to put people's names on the back as well. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You can pay me extra $5, I'll put your name on the back. And the guards must have clocked on, and they're asking, what's this brand everyone keeps wearing? You know what I mean? And then someone's obviously, I don't know if they intentionally snitched, but they snitched because now security is raiding my cell for clothes. They come bursting in, there was about 12 of them. All the men in my wing will always remember this. They come to my cell, they're like, searching. I'm thinking, maybe they're looking for a phone or something. You know what I mean? They've come out with clothes. Can you believe that? Right. They've come to your cell to take clothes with security officers like it's cocaine. You know what I'm saying? Crazy. I'm thinking like, so, but that motivated me as well. It made me angry because now they're raiding other people for Barnes Gorelli. Now, I'm getting clothes handed in, and they put the logo in the reception. So when you bring it, you can't bring it in. And they asking, why can't we bring this in into Thameside? And they're like, you're just not allowed it. So I put a complaint in to the governor. I said, why is my clothes not allowed in? They was like, you're not allowed to run a business enterprise while within the prison, which I understood. I understand that. But there was also flying another kite of, this is gang related. So I'm thinking, you lot must be some racist ass motherfucker. How is what's Barnes Gorelli got to do with gang? So you're telling me all the white people and all the working class people that are buying this Barnes Gorelli brand, they must be part of a gang. Make it make sense. I just felt like they don't want me to progress, and I'm thinking about my whole life, you know, like going through, you know, going through the jail system, and my mum telling me I'm never gonna get a job. I'm thinking, blood, I'm trying to make it out doing this thing. The music thing, I was on a drill band. They put me on I think Diggy D was one of the first ones they put on a drill band. I was on that order as well, innit? Okay. So you're not allowed to appear in any music. Like, you're not even allowed to be next to a man that's saying, I'm gonna do that drill. So that's why I started focusing on the clothing thing. And then they're trying to stop me doing that. That made me so angry. Like, you've never seen a man. Even the man, all the people in the jail, even some of the officers, like, they put me in segregation unit for this. Wow. So it's like, what are you playing at? It's like, the government come tell me. I said, why am I on GOAD for so long, man? The officer told me, because I'm called bare officers, innit? They're like, listen, I don't agree with it, but apparently you're selling clothes. I'm in the segregation unit for dangerous prisoners because I'm selling clothes. Right. How does it make any sense?
I guess it also depends on how much they think it's kind of going, and it's affect. For me, if it doesn't affect them, it shouldn't. Because like, I used to run a casino and a betting shop in prison, and the officers actually used to help me print out my football bets for the mandem every single week. But they know so it just depends on which prisoners you had as well, which officers you had as well.
But it's the whole jail, it's the governor that was, like, you know, and there's some hating ass officers as well, you get me? But a lot of the govs, all the govs in my wing, they were 30. Do you know what I'm saying? There was 30. They know I'm not one of them prisoners that, I'm not problematic. Whatever you want to do, like, I respect everyone. Even sometimes you might let me out my door all the time, you know, and you might not let me out tomorrow. I'm not gonna be one of them guys that fuck off and all this stuff. It's like I respect everything everyone wants to do. Is your job at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that motivated me, and that's when I came out. So I wasn't getting into jail no more. I was now selling it to people outside. So when you're leaving, you make your order. I'll send the order out, and then when you come out, you collect your clothes. You get it? So when I come out, obviously I made an Instagram page, and people used to message me saying, "When's the new drop?" Imagine people asking me, "When is the new drop coming?"
Crazy.
It was so motivational. I thought, I've got to stick to this, and that's when I started selling clothes. Do you get me? And then I got a job as well. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, man.
So we're coming to the end of it now. So, but then you've only been out back 5 days now.
Yeah.
And going back to how we started it, going back to family, how's things with the family now and what they're saying in terms of you now trying to take a new direction? Although it's only been 5 days, but you've got the clothing brand happening now as well. So how's the relationship with everyone?
Nah, it's very good. It's very good, man. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, while I was in jail as well, you know, I was cutting people's hair and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So when I came out, I've been doing that as well. So that's why I'm doing the clothing brand and I'm doing the hair. And yeah, man, just trying to say, because obviously there's certain things I can't really do because I know the feds are on me. They want me to do something bad so they can throw me in, you know. I'm officially a free man now. Do you get me? From 2005. Do you get me? So yeah, man, and just upwards and onwards now.
And music-wise, is something you're gonna look into again?
I might drop something. I might drop something one day. You know what I mean? But I'm just gonna focus on the brand and I'm focused on the hair business, and then yeah, we'll go from there. And then obviously I'll surprise people with a tune in due time. You know, just for fun, not for. Do you know what I'm saying? Because the clothing brand is the main thing.
No, I hear it.
Yeah,
and
man.
if you look at what the clothing brands are doing right now across the UK, across London, across globally, from the likes of your Trap Stars, Hood Rich, Cortez, they're all doing really well. So I wish you nothing but the best with it. Thank you for coming down and sharing your story with us.
Yeah, man.
And that, any last words? Any last words?
Shout out to Bobby Kasanga for getting me on here.
I appreciate it.
And all the youths and that, and everyone who's going through the madness and that, always remember, like, whatever you want to do, you can do it. Same way that you run a line and you go out there, take risk. You can take that risk and become better as well. You know what I'm saying? So take it easy and don't just be lit. Be Barnes Get Ready lit. All day, every day. Be.
Say no more. Say no more. And that there's another Big Ego Media podcast, and we're out.